All right, guys, let's get this party started. All right, guys, I got this job over here in the Trussville area. This is going to be Jefferson County. The last time I built a house in this area, well, not the last house, but the house before last that I built in this area, Jefferson County um, is where you get your septic approval. So this right here house is going to have an on-site sewer system, which is going to be a septic system. So you got a septic tank, you got field lines. And guys, in case some of you all don't understand how that works, we're gonna all the solids are gonna get captured in the septic tank, and then the effluent items are gonna go into the soil. But the soil has to be able to break the break the urine and stuff like that down. So this is why you have field lines. So it disperses into the soil. So the field line has to undergo what they call a perk test. Um, and I'm not an engineer, guys, but there is an engineer. I just met him over here. Thanks, Brian. But he comes in and he tests the soil. He dig a big hole in the ground and he finds out where it perks. And you can see. So number one, you can't mess with that area. You can't disturb that area where it perks. You cannot disturb it. So right over here, you guys can see right over here the pink ribbons. What he put right here. This right here, he came in and dug a big hole here and he made sure that this soil can break the fluids down that's coming out of that's coming out of the sewer, well, the sewer part. And this is the perk hole. So they come here and guys, we put ribbons and stuff around it, and you can see my hole right here. You guys kind of can see it's. I just hope I don't step on a snake, guys. And I tell you what, you can see that big hole right there. This is that big hole right there. They dug there, and they test the soil to make sure that soil can um, handle the affluent items. Uh, One thing you got to make sure, man, you got to make sure you just walk normal in these bushes, man, because snakes will be waiting on you, especially during this time of the season. But if you walk normal, they'll try to get away. But if you're trying to creep and trying to walk kind of silent, you might step on one. So you don't want to step on the wrong one. But anyway, the first thing you want to do, guys, the very first thing you want to do is you want to get that right. If you mess around because here's the thing, man, a conventional system. See, right now we got this thing set up for a conventional system. The conventional system run you about $10,000 to $14,000 in our area, in this area, in the Alabama area, run you about $10,000 to $14,000. That's just a conventional system. Anytime you have to do any kind of engineer stuff to it, go ahead and double that. So engineer the Elgin system and all those things. They're gonna run you probably $25,000, sometimes $26,000, just to put those systems in. Very expensive. So you want to make sure that you don't cause the homeowner to have to eat that cost. You just don't want to do that. So you need to go ahead, and this right here enabled me to show my guys before we even start building, to show these guys where my field lines are going to be, the ones that we're going to use, and so they just stay away from it. You got to stay away from that, man. Even cuts and stuff, even when we cut in for the basement, we need to stay away from it, which is why I actually, if you see these lines, I came out here and I marked these lines right here, and they're staying far away from those field lines. This is where I want my silt fence to go. And the reason I want my silt fence to go here, number one, I don't want the excavator to get out here and have any confusion on what trees to cut down, number one. That's I wore that shirt. I don't want to not gonna let that happen again. But number two, you want to make sure that the guys is you got to handle your erosion control, guys. The first thing you need to do on your job site is when you put anything here, make sure you um, take care of your erosion control. You don't want an impact of all the stuff on your site getting into the streets and going into that inlet over there and start an impact on that guy. So you want to do your best to make sure that you're handling your erosion control. Just because you put silt fence down, you got to start watching the performance of the silt fence. Make sure it performs correctly. So I actually shifted this house over a little bit. So you guys kind of see this right here, man. I got that silt fence coming all the way over here. Now, we have a basement and a main level garage on this home. And so I'm putting the basement garage, I had to shift it over this way a little bit because they got 2 lots. So I'm gonna put the basement garage on the lower side. So we actually had to take this house and reverse it. We reversed it. This right here is the low side over here, and over here is the high side. Um, and guys, you want to be more efficient. That's the most efficient way we can build this house. And guys, I tell you this right here. If you work with the lay of the land when you're building, you're gonna save that homeowner cost. And not only that, it's just gonna be a better build, guys. It's gonna, especially when it go with the lay of the land, it's more efficient. It's gonna be less digging. Uh, it's just a win-win, guys. So try to go with the lay of the land. So low side over here, high side over there. So the main level garage is gonna be on this side. The low garage is gonna be on this side. And we always got to think about the turnaround and all those things. So this right here works, guys. So that's the first thing. And I also put in, you know, I'm actually showing my guy. You can kind of see my lines here. I'm showing him where I want my. I'm also showing him where I want the drives to be. I want to kind of figure that out on the front end, because you want wherever the drives is going to be for them to start using those drives. And what they're going to be doing, guys, here's another thing. They're going to be compacting that soil. They're going to be compacting. And then by the time you get close to finishing this home, you have compacted the soil so much that when you actually pour the concrete, it cuts down on the amount of cracks because you don't have voids in the soil up under it. So, you know, you got your concrete trucks coming, you got all your equipment and your lumber when they delivering all that stuff. They're going to use that drive and they're going to compact that soil. So these are things that, guys, you want to think about on the front end. This is what you want to think about. So we still about a week from actually, I think the homeowners maybe about a week from actually getting everything ready for the lot. But I'm just going ahead and putting all this stuff on the front end and getting all these things taken care of on the front end, so that, you know, when we finally get ready to move on this right here, we can hit the ground running. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my erosion control in the first next week. And another thing, guys, you want to make sure you have, I got a camera system set up out here. And I also, guys, Real-Link. I'm not getting a dime from Real-Link, but those guys, I got to turn that off, man. I don't want this thing. It makes a alarm or something. So I'm gonna turn that off. I got to go in and turn that up. I don't know if you can see it up there, but I got it up there in that tree. Yeah, you can see it right. There we go, right there. Yeah. So I got it, and guys, it's wireless. You know, I get a data card, and I can also give that, the homeowner can put that app on their phone. And guys, this is a good thing for most of you builders, because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to constantly have the homeowner calling you, hey, what happened today? Are they doing any work today? Well, they can see it themselves. They can see what's going on every day. You know, if they want to, they can log on. If they get the app, get that phone app, the same thing I got on my phone, they can log that thing in. They can log in and they have access to that camera there. They can look at it. The only thing I ask them to do is don't move the camera, don't shift it around, because I got my eyes on it and I got it where I want it to be at. So that's another good thing that you guys have. It's just a good idea, guys. Get these homeowners access to your cameras so they're not calling you, you know, every 2 or 3 days. Well, what's going on now? You know, they get excited, guys. I get it. Um, I would be excited too, guys. You got to understand how these homeowners think, man. They're getting excited. You know, some people, this is the last house they're gonna build, and etc. Man. So this is an experience, guys. Building a house, it's not just a product, guys. This is an experience. So my job is to make that experience as good as possible. That's my job. You know, like I said, I don't always succeed. You know, I'm not perfect, guys. I make mistakes every once in a while, but I try to make that experience as good as possible throughout the process. So get them some cameras and stuff. Always stay in communication with them. But we're finna get going on this bad boy right here, man. I've already submitted everything to the permitting office. The plans should be in review as we speak. And you know, it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the plans examiner to review the plans to make sure they're code compliant. I can still pull an erosion control land disturbance, so I'm still gonna probably get my excavators out here once I meet my surveyor out here. So I need to get a design. So here's how it works. I got to get a design from the septic engineer first, so we know where everything's gonna be. I need to give that design to the I got to give that design to my surveyor. Surveyor is going to come out here and mark where that house is going to sit. So I send him a copy of the plans with the first floor, the foundation, and then I send him I send him a survey, and then he can set that. He can set that on this lot based on what the septic engineer approved or is going to approve. So then once he come out here and mark that house, I have an idea. So I have an idea where that house is going to sit. I have a clear idea. And guys, you want to let your surveyor do this stuff, man. You want to let someone who has a license do this right here. Typically, they're going to have a liability insurance. That way, if they mess something up, it's on them, not you. Not you as the builder. And so, and then they had the insurance to handle a lot of stuff too, you know, in case there are some lawsuits going on. So you're forcing accountability. But guys, you want to come in once you get that surveyor set that house corner. He's going to look at the setbacks, make sure that he's meeting zoning setback, which we well within range here. Once he set all that stuff up, then I would have an idea. I can have my excavator to unleash, and that way everything is going to be marked for him. There is no confusion. There is nothing there that you know, you can see what I've marked the lines. You can't mess this up. And you got to do that, guys. You got to foolproof your sites, because I promise you guys, and I'm not saying my guys are this way, man, but you never know. You know, even my excavator, he can have somebody to come in and run the front end loader for him that day, and you just don't know who's going to do it. So you got to, man, you got to have everything, guys. As a builder, you better have this thing figured out on the front end. You need to have a game plan. Not saying you're gonna have everything figured out, but you need to have a game plan, guys. Once again, I think that's all. But I get excited, man, when I get ready to get started, guys. Getting pumped up. But here we go, guys. Like, share, subscribe. You know, let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything that you ran into on a job site. And thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a good one. Did it stop? It didn't.
So like, all right. So if you want that to be cut,
I think we just keep it all on the same side and help me stay organized. So
Okay.
we cut another 4 foot board.
yeah, on 4 foot, you're gonna cut that 1.5 inch to compensate for that 6 foot board you run across.
But you gotta keep in mind the 4 foot board is also that inch and a half. So technically it's 3 inches off.
Right.
It ain't no. Now you too far down.
Get it? Like starting to frustrate you now.